Guys, today I'm actually filming a video for Amazon, but I wanted to tell you about something I wish I knew all these years since I've been eligible for TikTok Shop. Well, it's been about a year and a half actually, and I didn't know that we could do this. So it's going to make your life simple if you're an Amazon influencer who does shoppable videos and you also are eligible for TikTok Shop, this is going to make your day. Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Miss Eileen, and yes, I am going to make your day. If you are a an Amazon influencer and you've been doing shoppable videos or you have a catalog of shoppable videos and you're also in TikTok Shop and you've been approved, maybe you've dabbled with it a little bit and you just weren't exactly sure, how to save time and repurpose the content from one to the other. And this is what I was dealing with. And, I kept saying to myself, there's got to be an easier way. Well, I know there's some tools. Didn't want to invest in any more tools. I'm already using enough tools on the Amazon side. And so I didn't want to invest money into any additional tools. Okay. So when I found out we could do this, I was like, oh man, where's that tutorial? How come nobody told me we could do this? And so I thought, well, it's up to me. I have to make this tutorial for you. And bear in mind, if you already knew this, it's okay. This will be a little refresher. Well, as Amazon influencers, most of us are already very familiar with Amazon Lens. And you see the little camera icon when you open up your Amazon um, app on your mobile phone. And that little camera icon can detect a product and let you know if it's available on Amazon or something similar is available on Amazon. Well, TikTok has the same thing. Yeah, they have that too. And it's on the TikTok shop side. Now, I don't know, now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't know if customers can use this as well. I didn't, I'm already approved for TikTok shop, so I'm not sure how the customer experience is. And I did go on YouTube and search to see if there was a tutorial about this. I asked Gemini to help me, and I didn't see it. So, doesn't mean it's not out there. It just may be called something different than what I was searching for. So, let's just say that it's for the TikTok shop creators. And that's where you would start. You would start with your TikTok shop. Make sure I'm calling it the right thing. Or you could go to TikTok Shop Studio. But what I did was I actually went to my profile. And we can build a showcase on our TikTok profiles. I think most of you are familiar with that. And if you're not, that's where you would just put products that you recommend. Doesn't have to be one that you've done a video for or any kind of content for, but it's helpful when you do make a video or upload a video or do a live stream. It's helpful for you if you've already got those things in your showcase. So it's kind of like an Amazon storefront, but not exactly. And it's not as pretty, but it's straightforward. And how you would find this is on your profile on TikTok. Let's see if I can get some kind of screen share going for you right now. Not sure if I'm set up for it. I think I did some screenshots. How about that? Let me look. Okay, I have a screenshot of. Let's just start with my showcase. All right, so here's what my showcase looks like. So you see there that I've added some products. You know, you're just looking at the first one, two, three, four, five products that, or the most recent five products that I added to my showcase. And that's because I did this little thing here that I'm going to show you. All right, bear with me. All right, so you're going to go to your showcase, which you'll find on your profile. Okay, and I don't have a screenshot of that. So I will just use my phone to show you. All right. And I could screen share from my phone, but right now I don't feel like doing all that. So you're on your profile, and what you see by default is your grid. But then right next to it is the little shopping bag. That's how you get to your showcase. All right, you see that? And right on top of that, it says TikTok Shop Creator Center. See, TikTok Shop Creator Center. Okay? So that's what you're going to click on. And it's funny because it tells me this every time. Congrats on your first shoppable content. Well, yeah, you say that all the time. I don't understand why you keep thinking it's my first, but okay. At least you're acknowledging me. All right. So you're in the back end, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show any of this stuff, and it doesn't really matter. You know, not like I'm making a whole lot of money. I just want to show you this feature. All right. So then you're going to. You can tap the little hourglass. The little search thing at the top, and then that'll bring you to the screen. Okay, you see the little thing that reminds you, is very reminiscent of Amazon Lens. It just looks like a little camera icon right up here at the top. Try to make it so you can see it, but trust me, there's a little camera icon right there after you click search. And you click on that camera icon, and then all you have to do is go over to Amazon, your Amazon storefront, your latest Amazon products that you uploaded, or one that you think is a good seller, however you decide. And then you're going to click on the uh, camera, and it's going to start bringing up products. So this is where I got lost. I think I may have even known what I just shared with you so far. I think I knew that part. And no, this is not the right slide. Okay. Sorry, jumped ahead. Hang on. Uh, this is the one. It's in the name, Eileen. The name of the file. So there's these lovely earrings that my daughter gave me, and I've done so many videos about them, talked about them on LTK so many times. Wear them, and I love to wear gold jewelry, even though I'm wearing silver. And by the way, I am wearing these filigree teardrop lever back earrings right now because I have YouTube shopping as well, and so I just want anyone who's interested in checking out some dainty silver earrings and the silver necklace that goes with it. Those items will be tagged or links found in the description today of this video. All right, so after you've done the little TikTok lens, I'll call it TikTok lens because I don't know if it has an official name. You have to click on these little arrows. You see where I drew the arrow to the two little carrots? I probably saw that a million times. And first of all, it's so pale, the color of it. Because when you come to this page, it says buy now. And I'm like, no, I don't need to buy that. I already bought it. But you have to hunt towards the bottom of the page. Now I had already bought it up a little when I drew this arrow on the screenshot. Those two little carrots, you have to scroll up. What? Is this a hidden feature? Or is it just people like me that have no idea that that's there? And so once you do that, then it's going to bring up what's called promotional info. And it brought up the earrings, as well as what I really want to do is to add it to my showcase. Okay? And so I would click the little red add button that's right underneath the earrings. I'm pretty sure you can see that. I'm hovering over it, but I realize you can't see my hover. And by the way, shout out to the folks at Ecamm because that's how I'm bringing you these screenshots and a bunch of other wonderful things that Ecamm does. And formerly Ecamm Live, but now Ecamm. So, yeah, that's how you add it to your showcase. So you literally can go over to your storefront on Amazon and just hold your phone and tap on that little camera and see all the stuff. You just got to remember to tap on those little carrots, those two little carrot arrows. Arrowheads, that's what they are. Arrowheads. Why ain't nobody tell me this? Because I've been wasting time because I do have a bunch of videos that are of products that are actually available on TikTok Shop. And that's why when I showed you that screenshot a minute ago, where I showed you my showcase, these are all the products that I found. Just, and there's more because you only see 5 on the screen at a time. But this was just what I found in the 10 minutes it took for me to make these screenshots and think about the fact that I was going to tell you guys about this. And, I am a huge fan of YouTube. If you don't know that by now, you don't know me so good. So, okay, if this is your first time here, my name is Eileen Smith, spelled ILEANE. And one thing that all the fam knows here is that I love YouTube. Amazon is great as well. And I've seen a lot of people making a lot of money on Amazon. So when TikTok came out with TikTok Shop, I, the things I saw people selling, I was like, I don't want that. That looks like, mm. uh. But I didn't know that over time, since TikTok Shop was introduced, that they have grown to the point where a lot of the sellers that sell on Amazon are like, well, I might as well sell my stuff on TikTok as well. So it's a lot of the same products. And, I just showed you some fashion and, little smaller, lower ticket items. But there can be higher ticket items there as well. I just didn't get a chance to search for them yet, yet, because I wanted to bring you this video first. And by the way, I just wanted you to notice this shirt that I'm wearing that I also talked about in, well, that I mentioned at the intro of this video that I really was filming a video for Amazon. So I'm just gonna. Oh, the other thing you can do is upload. You can also upload images on your camera roll, and it will search to see if this is available. Now, I did, and there's some cute dresses that are very familiar, similar to this top, but I guess also the image that I uploaded, you can't tell if it's a top or a dress, so it assumes it's a dress. And they're very similar, but they're not the dress. I mean, the top. So, yeah. And, that's going to happen. Let's try another one where I'm more full body so you can see that it's a top. Yeah, so this particular top, right off initially, there's nothing coming up. There's a lot of very similar, very cute things, but it's not the same top. And I'm scrolling, and I don't see the same top. So I'm not going to try to make it seem like every single top is there. But sure enough, these earrings that I purchased and did a video for, which I put on my LTK, and yeah, my LTK, that's also a link that's in my profile. And after I put it on my LTK, I was like, oh, I need to put it on Amazon because that's where I purchased it from, Amazon, as well as this necklace, which actually I got this necklace from Walmart. However, the same necklace is available on Amazon. And I didn't even search to see if this is available on TikTok yet. But it probably is because it's very common. It's called Figaro. It's a Figaro link chain. And a lot of times it's listed as a men's necklace. But you wouldn't have known that unless I told you. So I think it's very dainty, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, we have so many options. I love that we have all these options. And if you are someone who has a following, or even if you're trying to build your following, YouTube is a place that you may want to consider as your home base. Now, if you're already in the influencer program and that's what you've been doing, that's your home base, that's fine too. But pretty soon, you're going to see that you're going to be able to tag your Amazon products in your YouTube videos. I just got that ability to do that the other day. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can find that screenshot. Oh, I got screenshots galore. Uh, yeah, I know where that one is. Hang on. No, I don't. I think I know where it is, but I don't. And it's not where I want it to be, that's for sure. But anywho, Being able, right now, let me finish that because I don't want some people to, have leave with a bunch of questions. Right now, it's limited access. Only certain creators are able to tag Amazon products on their YouTube videos. But here's also what I want to caution you about in terms of that. There's so many rules, and each platform has their own set of rules. They have their own set of best practices. And honestly, if you're thinking about branching out, you need to familiarize yourself with some of these. For example, I'll give you an example. When you're creating content for Amazon, say a shoppable video, all right? I'm not talking about Amazon Live, just talking about a shoppable video. That's a product review video, and I use air quotes for review. Don't worry about why I do that right now. You make a video about a product, you upload it, and it appears on your storefront. It also can appear on product pages. But you are not allowed to give a call to action. You're not supposed to say, put this in your cart right now. Now, if you're doing live stream, that's different. Add this to your cart or buy this today. You're not supposed to do that. Now, you probably say, I've seen people do it. Yet, there's a lot of things that go on Amazon where some people get away with stuff and some people don't. But then there's also the fact that there is machine learning. It's not like people are, looking at each video. No, they got the tool, the AI over there that's scanning videos looking for certain clues and certain things, and they may have missed it. It's a large volume of stuff that it has to go through, you know. Okay, so YouTube is just the opposite. Calls to action from the beginning, from the rooter to the tutor, as they used to say. Shop now. The links for all the items that I talked about today will be in the description. Or if you're watching on your TV, you can scan the QR code, or there will be a shopping shelf, or I'll have it in the first pinned comment. That's YouTube. So when you repurpose your Amazon influencer videos on YouTube, you need to add those call to actions. And now it's not always easy to do that. And a lot of us just want to get our videos up there because they figure YouTube search is so much better than, you know, hoping and praying you make it to the product page on Amazon. And TikTok probably has their rules about calls to action or not calls to action. It's a different call to action because they got the orange shopping cart. So if there is a call to action, it would be tap on that orange shopping cart and check out right now. YouTube, here's another difference. YouTube, you can give prices, you can give dates, when sales start, when sales end. Amazon, you better not say prices unless you're on the live stream. That's a whole nother video. But if you're doing a shoppable video, do not mention prices. That's just the, their policy. They don't want you talking about prices because they know the prices change all the time. The prices can change in the middle of the day. And when you're on YouTube, you have to let people know. The prices can vary. This is the price I'm telling you right now. But if you're shopping on Amazon, that price can change right after you put it in the cart. So you double check it. No, it usually doesn't change after you've got it in the cart. But you could be shopping for something in the morning, dilly dallying, not really sure. And then let me look around. Let me see if I can find a better deal. It doesn't have all the features I want. And you come back to that item, the price may be more. Or it could be less, but it probably will be more if it was already on sale. Okay? So that's why they don't want you to say prices. And that's perfectly understandable. I mean, that makes sense. You don't want people to have a really bad experience, and it's really up to them to look at the price. And even when you hear someone on YouTube talk about a price, and I'm not sure how that works on TikTok, because I do hear people mention that things are on sale, but I don't, off the top of my head, I don't really recall them saying a specific price. They might say cheapest price is really on a great discount, which is the same things you could say on Amazon, but not in your shoppable video, only if you're on Amazon Live. But anyway, you need to know all the ins and outs and all the different rules and the best practices. And, I like to dedicate at least a few of the videos here on this channel to sharing some of those best practices with you. But I don't really want to turn this channel into how to be an Amazon influencer. I just don't. I'd rather like mix things up. I like to go live. As you can see here, I will talk about products. I've done dual live streams where I've live streamed on Amazon and YouTube at the same time. Here's another funny story. When you do that, you live stream on Amazon and another platform. Amazon wants you to favor them. I mean, it's okay. You ain't want to mention that, you're on YouTube as well. YouTube, come on over to Amazon. TikTok will shut you off in the middle of your sentence. Start talking about that you live on TikTok and you live on YouTube. See if you're all of a sudden you don't start having technical difficulties, cause you will. So watch out for these things. Pay attention. Watch other people and see what their experiences are. I don't want you to land in jail. Like they call it Facebook jail or TikTok jail, or have any kind of restrictions on your account is what it boils down to. And as far as I'm concerned, YouTube is the most friendly because YouTube, they're happy that you're on YouTube. They don't care if you're also live on TikTok, and they might care, but they don't restrict you. They don't restrict you from being live on Twitch. All these other platforms, Kick, which I never use, but I just figured I'd throw that out there. YouTube is fine with it. But some of these other platforms, it's like they have a inferiority complex. So they don't want you saying you're on YouTube too, because people might leave and go over to YouTube. And I don't know that YouTube cares. If people leave YouTube and go over to Amazon, I don't think they care. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but they don't ding you. They don't cut your stream off or whatever for talking about another platform, which I think is just so, in my opinion, and you just have to be mad at me, but this is my opinion. I think it's childish. I think it's immature. Okay, you as a platform that is like one of the, what is it, Fortune is much less than 500, Fortune 100 or Fortune 50, I don't even know. One day a platform is over here, and then the next day, it's up and it's down, and so let's say they're in the Fortune 10. Like, why are you paranoid about people leaving your platform? So maybe they're starting to come around because I got to take up for Amazon now. They starting to have these integrations that I think are very hopeful, and I think that Amazon influencers should really look forward to and explore. And I've talked about some of them in our Logi sessions. So on my YouTube channel page, you'll see a section called collaborations. And that's where you'll find those where I am like leading a Logi session. So, for example, Amazon has this integration with Canva. Absolutely amazing that you can edit videos, you can edit photos, you can create photos, and all that good stuff over in Canva and easily tag them, or even the AI will try to tag it. I don't trust the AI. I want to tag it with, I make sure it's the right product. And anyway, and just upload it right from Canva over to your Amazon storefront. Love, 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 love that. The other integration that I am very excited about, and I think you should all, as Amazon influencers and associates, be excited about, is the integration with Pinterest. The fact that we can easily tag products that we have featured in our Pinterest content, whether it's a photo or a video. And once you connect your Amazon account to your Pinterest, you'll also gain an extra link on your profile, on your Pinterest profile. You'll gain an extra link that will be your Amazon storefront. So that's exciting. And that also reminds me of the fact that there's been a change to the Amazon Associates program, and associates are almost the same thing as influencers now. As long as you make 3 sales within, I believe it's 180 days, you can get a storefront. Because that used to be the only differentiator between influencers and associates. But now that's changed. Now you can, as an associate, you can also have a storefront. You can upload content, make ideas lists, and your shoppable videos can also show up on product pages. So, pretty much, there is not much difference between an associate and an influencer anymore. Little tiny differences, which I'm not even going to go into because it's not even worth it. If you are already an associate, you probably qualify for a storefront. You probably have received an email from Amazon saying set up your storefront. So pay attention to those emails. And it's another stream of income. And this is what we have to do, we have to diversify our income streams because platforms make so many changes. There's so many moving parts and pieces, like I've been talking about so far today. And, you know, I started this whole video off saying that I had no idea that all we had to do was use the TikTok lens to see if products are on. Because I was going the old school route. I was, every now and then, I would just say, let me see if this item is over there on TikTok. I'll try to search for it. And when I would search for it, I would get the product and it would ask me to check out. Never, ever, ever paid attention to the fact that there's these two little arrowheads at the bottom of the page that all I have to do is hold them and pull it up, and that's how I add to my showcase. I thought it was a whole different back door. Now, why TikTok does it that way? Hey, Big Niecy, how you doing? I'm not sure why TikTok does it that way. I guess they're trying to get you to buy the product, or you can ask for samples. That's always a big thing in this whole creator economy, asking for samples from brands and partnering with brands to do collaborations to promote their products, whatever it may be. So there's that too. But I do think they should just make it a little easier. Right next to that buy button, they should just have add to showcase. Why not? Why not have the two buttons next to each other? What's the point of making us find these little carrots that are arrowheads, carrots that are so light and so faint? I'm going to put them up again because Nisi wasn't here when I showed it earlier. So I'm just going to try to navigate back to this folder where I have this. Click the red button, choose product to add to showcase. Wait a minute. Tap the arrows to open. Okay, here we go. So once you use that TikTok lens, you find the product. These earrings, I think I posted them today. No, tomorrow, because you don't post a lot of videos on TikTok. See, this is another difference. People upload 10, 15 videos, maybe even more, 30 videos a day on Amazon. Do one a day. Do one a day on TikTok. Because TikTok, okay, here's something else. Here's another thing. And honestly, I wish TikTok would stop doing this. I know it's benefiting someone who has time to go through it. But almost every single day, TikTok is emailing you, telling you that you qualify to compete in this promotion or that promotion, or, complete this task, upload 3 videos this week, jump through 19 hoops, and you could win a bonus. I didn't even finish reading the bonus from the other day. And instead of y'all emailing me that stuff, y'all should be emailing me telling me how to add stuff to my showcase. So I can get my Amazon products over there on my TikTok shop. So once you click on those little carrots, right? You scan the product with your TikTok app. Wait a minute. Let me back up. You go to the TikTok studio, and you'll see a search icon at the, like the little magnifying glass. You click on that, and then it'll be a search box. At the end of that search box is a camera, very similar to Amazon Lens. You click on that camera, and you can either upload a photo, or you can just hold it up to your screen or in person, wherever you have that product, and see if it's on TikTok Shop. But this little thing here is what I did with the earrings. But all this time, for over a year, I didn't know that all I had to do was tap and hold on these arrows, and that would bring up. Because, see, I see buy now and add to cart. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying. First of all, I already got the earrings. Okay? So I'm off doing something else now. Let me go back to Amazon, because y'all keep trying to sell me stuff. No, and all I had to do was tap on the arrow, and then it'll bring me what's called promotional info. Promotional info. And that promotional info, you see the red add button underneath the earrings. That's how you add it to your showcase. Once it's in your showcase, it's so much easier when you upload the video to go ahead and to create a product link. They use different terminology. On Amazon, it's called tagging. On YouTube, it's called tagging. But on TikTok, it's add a product link. Why? Why can't y'all say tagging too? Trying to confuse us. You're welcome, Big Niecy. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I just realized I don't have my comments open here. And so you know that Big Niecy is not a figment of my imagination. She said, hey. And then she said, thanks. You're welcome, my love. Even if only one person comments, you made my day, girl. And I hope you are an Amazon affiliate and a TikTok shop. And this tip that I'm sharing even doesn't even you don't have to be an Amazon influencer. This could be stuff that's in your house that you've already purchased, or you could be out. You're out shopping and you're like, let me see, should I buy this? Let me see if it's on TikTok shop first. And that could be anything. That could be um doesn't have to be a um an outfit or something like that. It could be you're just out and about in any kind of shopping. You could be at the supermarket and see like some kind of a gadget, or like a pancake flipper or something like that, and you're like, should I get this one or that one? Wait, let me see which one is on TikTok shop. Right? It doesn't have to be Amazon, but if you are an Amazon influencer, you've already got a portfolio of videos that you can easily just scan those products and see if they're on TikTok shop. Now, usually Amazon influencers, especially if you've been around for a while, we've got all kinds of tools where we can check and see if there's sales volume on a particular thing. And that makes a whole lot of sense. Hopefully, you've done that research already on the Amazon side. But all I'm saying to you is if you've got the video already, you already got the video. What you researching for? It's just a video that all you're doing is uploading it. you know, don't. Maybe after a while, you're like, okay, I put about 60, 70, 50, 150 videos of. Then maybe you can get a little bit more choicy. They have tools for TikTok as well that you can search. And TikTok has its own tool. Yeah, repurposing, absolutely. Big Niecy, that's what I'm talking about here. Repurposing. And then that's also going to extend over into YouTube. I'm going to change the size of this comment because, yes, repurposing. We're on the same page, girl. Because what happens is, as a someone who is a product seller, once your product has been proven and it's doing well on whichever platform you upload it to first, maybe it's easier for you to upload it to Amazon, or it's easier for you to upload it to TikTok, or you have a Shopify store, or whatever. You have your own website, right? And you sell products from your website, wherever it is first. Then as you grow, you see the opportunities. You start studying, you watch some videos on YouTube, maybe you join a community. Now, I do want to say to you, as an influencer or as a brand who has products, be very cautious vetting these folks who are selling courses. For example, I have heard so many stories from my Amazon influencer friends of people who have said they've wasted thousands of dollars with courses where they either didn't learn or they were being taught things that are against the rules. And it, I don't like calling people names, but there's this word called an opportunist. And somebody figures I know just a little bit more about this particular thing than you know. And you don't know that I don't really know a whole lot. So I'm going to sell you a course for $5,000. They really don't know what they're talking about. There was this one person that was making a lot of money. Actually, I think it was a husband and wife. And they were doing Amazon courses. And I think they were charging even more than $5,000. This goes back maybe 2 or 3 years. And so the programs were a little different back then. But the things they were teaching, and they're not necessarily being nefarious. They thought that what they were teaching was right, I guess. I really don't know them. So I don't know if they knew they were teaching you the wrong stuff or not. But they're not around anymore. If they are, they're using somebody else's face and name and social security number and everything else. Because they got banded. Banded. Okay? So, you have to vet your resources and, pay attention to testimonials. I know you probably like Facebook. Yeah, get over on Facebook because that's where all the chatter is happening. I know people have these school groups and circle and all that stuff, but Facebook is where you're going to see all the people that say, yeah, I heard about the so and so. I'm not going to say any names because it doesn't matter. They're not even around anymore, so there's no point in even looking for them. And yeah, they were giving misinformation. And so that is one thing that I strive. You know, I'm I'm going to tell you, I don't make $10,000 a month. I don't make $5,000 a month. But I know what I'm talking about. And if I don't, I will tell you, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that particular technique or strategy is successful because I've been around. Not only have I been around, I've been teaching this stuff. Okay, every Friday for almost 2 years now. So I know a bit. I know a fair bit. I know a lot of it. Okay, and I know some of the things people can get banned over. And so I would never try to steer someone wrong. That's just not me. And I don't have a $5,000 course, but I could. I could. And there are some folks that I can recommend as well. And I definitely will leave links in the description for a couple of folks that I do know that have legitimate courses that know what they're talking about. You know, oh, another thing you can do. Big Nisi said, yes, you do know a lot. Thank you, sweetie. Another thing that you can do is get on somebody's email newsletter. Get on a newsletter, and that's also another way that you can vet a person. You can see if are they sharing, because on the newsletter they should be sharing free tips as well as, of course, they want to sell something. Either they've got a course or they've got a product, and nothing wrong with that. That's what this is all about, right? Everybody trying to make money, but pay attention to the tips that they're sharing. You know, just do your due diligence. Don't just buy a course because somebody's selling it. All right, so just be careful with that because I hate when I see someone say they bought so and so's course, and as once they say it, then 20 more people say, "Yeah, I bought that course too. Yeah, it was a waste of time. Yeah, it was a waste of money. They didn't know what they were talking about, and they told me I should do this, 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 and this, which was wrong." So just be careful, and it. Like I said, this is on the seller side as well as um, on the influencer side, and surround yourself with people of integrity. Okay. And I want to go back to what I was saying about the integrations. So, the integrations that Amazon has, I mentioned Canva and I mentioned Pinterest. And I talked about how associates and influencers are almost the same now. But I also want to just to state it clearly that eventually we'll all be able to tag Amazon products. Those of us who are in the YouTube Partner Program, and I don't know what all the criteria for this is, but you're going to see some people tagging Amazon products on YouTube shopping. And one of those people would be yours truly. Yeah, your girl got access to it. And I'm not sure if that's because I, I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure why. And here's why I say that. Because I'm also a manager, a channel manager for my daughter's channel. Shout out to my daughter, Nicole Purvey. Her channel is called The Profit Door. And she don't really care that much about Amazon. Like she's doing her thing. She's got her business, and I'm gonna put her YouTube channel in the chat. She has. I'll make sure I don't make it spell it wrong. This girl has like 65,000 subscribers. Okay, the Profit Door at the Profit Door. Okay, yes, daughter, I subscribe. Thank you, Nisi. But she does not have access to tag Amazon products because she's an Amazon influencer. But like I said, she don't pay it. She might have 10, 15 things on her Amazon storefront. I have a couple hundred, but I mean I have friends that have thousands and thousands of things on their storefronts. No, it's their full time job. I have a full time job and it's not Amazon. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being part of this community. I enjoy being part of the creator economy. And when I learn something, I teach it. And that's why I shared today what I did about TikTok Shop and how easy it is to repurpose what you've already made content for on Amazon if you're also a TikTok Shop creator. It's a simple thing, but nobody ever showed me. So I'm not going to do that to y'all. I got to show y'all, even though y'all might say, "Oh, I knew that." Okay, I sure wish you had done a video about it or tweeted me on Twitter. Yes, I still call it Twitter. And let me know. Okay, because I haven't heard nobody else talking about it. So it's a simple thing, but like I said, let me just go back to TikTok for a minute, okay? Because I know that some people who are watching this are like, is she gonna go back and talk about TikTok? She keep talking about Amazon. Yes, TikTok will tell you when you log in. Almost every day when I log into my TikTok, there's a notification from TikTok telling me I qualify for a bonus if I do something, and it'd be something different every day. I ain't do the thing you asked me yesterday. Why you asking me to do something else today? Like, give me a break, TikTok. Let me. I didn't even finish reading the email. Y'all already said, and for somebody who, like I said, if this is a full time job for them, or they are just so hungry, they are just, you know, hanging on every word. Now, um, TikTok also does something that's a little different than the other platforms. And maybe that's why they push so much with the notifications because Amazon, YouTube, even um, Walmart, and a few others, they all have broadcast channels on Instagram. So, in addition to emailing you, which they don't email you as with things as much as TikTok does. But TikTok is, I guess they just don't want to use Instagram, so um, they have these little bizarre little platforms. I signed up for one of them. I don't log into that thing, or they use Discord, and I know a lot of people use Discord and love Discord. Me, I'm not the one, and I've tried it multiple times, and every time I try it, I'm like, huh. I'll probably go over there right now. I got about 150 notifications that of stuff that I was like, nah, who cares? Who cares? Somebody went live. They went live. I missed it. But, so I guess that's one reason why they're constantly giving you notifications inside the app or emailing you about all the little, um, it's like they gamify things. Like if you go live and talk about going live, you might be eligible for a bonus. But it's not until you finish reading the thing. You got to have 1,000 likes and man, don't waste my time with that. I'm not trying to get no 1,000 likes on no TikTok live. And because TikTok don't save your lives. Your lives are ephemeral. When that live is over, it's over. Now you can download well, who's going to download? And you never see a TikTok live replay on TikTok. You might see somebody like myself or others who are, tech savvy, repurposing their live because they downloaded the file, but there's no replays. So, which I find annoying. So you keep trying to give me this incentive to go live, and I've gone live there before and been very disappointed when I found out that, you mean to tell me that live is gone? So that means you gotta constantly be going live. Yeah, TikTok. Been there, done that. I I went live on Twitch, which I don't even stream on anymore. Uh it's been years and years ago now, but it was close to 200 days in a row. And it was nice. At the time I made it to I think it's called an affiliate on Twitch. I'm not sure what level it was. It was the first level. I wasn't a partner because I think partners are the higher level. But since then, years gone by, they changed how many streams you have to do and all that stuff. So it's like I don't keep up with it anymore. But I do think Twitch is a good platform for someone who has that following over there. And they don't keep your lives around either. They keep them for a little while so people can watch the replay. Not as bad as TikTok. There's no replays on TikTok Live. None. And even Facebook, they only keep your lives for a month. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with Facebook? But oh well. So if we haven't really talked about Facebook and Instagram. Well, Instagram never did have Instagram live replays. They never did. And I guess TikTok never did either, but I just didn't know that. There's so much about TikTok that I don't know. So when I'm over there, I was just kind of like rolling the dice. Let's not do anything too wild and too drastic because we don't know all the rules. That's why you don't really hear me talking and teaching too much about the rules on TikTok. I can tell you about rules on YouTube. I can definitely tell you about the rules on Amazon. TikTok, I know a little teeny bit. Probably just enough to get you in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. Big Niecy, I appreciate you so much for being here. It will be an hour that I streamed. And you know what? On the way out, why don't I'm just going to play that little intro video again. Oh no, I'm not, cause that's not what's in my files for. It's just an intro video that said I was going to be talking about TikTok Shop. And with that, we are at the top of the hour. I thank you so very much. Oh, just so you'll know, if you ever want to get in touch with me, you could just always leave a comment. Tell me you need to get in touch with me. I'll find a way. And you can DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on Twitter. Um, you can DM me, message me on Facebook. I will pay attention to that, or TikTok. Okay, and I will have links to all that stuff. So I know a lot of times, people have a question or they think about it later. Like, when you're digesting your dinner later on tonight, you're like, oh darn, I wish I would have asked her about such and such a thing. Big Niecy said, okay, thanks. Yeah, sure. Anytime, sweetie. Just let me know. And with that, as always, I end by saying, stay beautiful.